Yeah, so you get to see the knees and the head kicks tonight. Just
Knees
no
and
elbows.
the head kicks. That's what I love.
Don't like the elbows down here for some reason, but yeah, it's. I've actually been to a couple of events in Kentucky before and seen some head kick knockouts. And Brian Kerr, who's in our main event, knocked out an opponent with a knee in one of his amateur fights. So.
Chad Sermon, yeah. One of the things, it actually let me kind of clarify. You can elbow to the body, just can't elbow to the head. So all the remainder of the unified rules apply. Guys, however you got here, if you're watching on CageCaster.com or Bluegrass MMA, we appreciate that. A full slate of fights, like I said, 17. And, David, tonight we're culminated with Brian Kerr, who you just talked about, taking on the Phenom himself, undefeated amateur Lance Lawrence, making his jump to professional status. It's a good storyline because Brian Kerr actually dislocated the elbow of Lawrence's boxing coach in his last fight. So could it be a revenge thing, or I like the implications here.
He's definitely out for some revenge. At least I would be. So that's going to be a great fight. But we're going to get things started off here in the welterweight division. We have a couple of debut fighters in Gary. It's got to be crazy going into a place like this. And we've already got a pretty good crowd here. People getting their butts in their seats ready for this first fight. But a couple of debut guys. You got Brandon Phelps, and is going to be in the red corner, coming down from Ohio, taking on Aaron Lewis, who is from Bowling Green, Kentucky. So really interesting. I have been looking at Brandon Phelps as he's been in the cage. He seems to be pretty relaxed for a guy who's going in there for the first time.
Yeah, you got Jay Grooms in his corner and his coach Brandon, who also coached guys like Brian McDowell from up around Maysville. Actually, I think Brandon lives in Moorhead. I've met him there before, but nonetheless, they've been on the scene for the last few years. Strong catch wrestling base. Their guys always come in prepared. And, of course, you've got Donnie Wallace, the commander of high-intensity combat, XFC vet, been around the way. He gets his guys prepared for moments like this.
First round of the first fight of the night, and we are ready to go. Brandon Phelps in the red corner with the red glove tape, black shorts. Aaron Lewis in the blue corner.
And they touch gloves, and Mr. Lewis, with no hesitation, start throwing some punches.
Yeah, coming out fast, looking to try to get the fight to the ground early, but Phelps grabbing that neck. It looks like it's not completely under the chin
yeah,
just
it looks like it's on his jaw right now, but Lewis is hanging on to that single leg. I don't know what he's going to do with it.
Yeah, he's looking for that single
he's
leg.
in a bad spot.
Yeah, really bad spot here up against the cage. And for Phelps to finish this, needs to actually get his hips in and maybe switch this to a 10-finger guillotine. It's really tough to finish
there it is.
Earns the tap nevertheless.
There you go. Team Kraken's own Brandon Phelps.
Great debut win. I said it's hard to finish from that position.
About the time he tapped,
guillotine, but
as a beginner, and we saw this with Sage Northcutt last week in the UFC, sometimes you're in an uncomfortable position, and you're taught when you're in those positions that maybe it's the best to let go and tap. So maybe that's what Mr. Lewis had in mind.
Please hit submit or final submit bout, end bout, and we'll get the totals coming up.
We got the totals of the app here. We're waiting for the official decision from Mr. Jason Weinel.
All right, folks,
first round submission in the books.
First round, Big John House got the stoppage to the fight due to a standing guillotine choke for your winner, Brandon Phelps.
Great debut win here for Brandon Phelps, moving up to 1-0.